Welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman, the podcast dedicated to helping you build the business of your dreams and live the life you always hoped for, with valuable and fun tips and info to make your life easier and more fun. And now, here's your host, a man who sprinkles metal shavings on his breakfast cereal just for fun, Jason Silverman.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. I'm your host, Jason Silverman, and I'm thrilled to share some time with you again today. As you know, I'm always on the hunt for interesting as well as super smart real deal guests, and I got to tell you, today's show is a winner. I want to introduce my listeners to somebody who's truly been there and done that, and I'm excited to pick her brain for your benefit today, and quite honestly, for my benefit as well. So for the folks who I work with in any of my coaching programs, through Powerful Words Character Development, or All-Star Cheer Sites, or the Jason's Army Mastermind Group, you know how much I focus on leveraging social media for business, right? Well, this show is going to help us to do just that, and I feel like this very well may be one of the missing links. I know it is for me, so I'm guessing as y'all join me on this journey, this very well may be something that you've been hoping to learn about. So today it's going to be my honor and privilege to share an amazing resource with you. You're going to love today's guest. She's got a ton of valuable information, not just from the theoretical side, but actually from the application side. So strap yourself in. Today's show is going to be a blast. As I'm sure you already know, I'm committed to helping business owners just like you to become more successful, enjoy your career more, and in general, make your life significantly more fun. As you know, we only get one ride on this merry-go-round, and we want to make sure it's one hell of a ride. Alrighty, boys and girls, it is now that time. I want you to stop surfing Facebook, put away your phone, your tablet, your dog, your cat, your spouse, your child, anything that might possibly distract you from today's show. You're about to get some great and immediately implementable information, and I don't want you to miss even a second of it. So, before we officially get going, let me give you a little bit of background information about our guest expert today. Morgan Sutton is the Director of Operations at Susan B. Zimmerman Enterprise. With a master's in engineering management, she directs all business operations, logistics, and online automation systems for social media educator Sue B. Zimmerman. Since the company's start, she's been a core driver of the development of Sue B's popular brand and online education courses. As a certified entrepreneur consultant, she helps small business owners bridge the gap between their business goals, website management, and automation systems. Morgan, welcome to The Real Deal. I'm thrilled to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me. That was an awesome intro, and I can't wait to talk to your listeners about this really cool tool.
Oh, me too. Well, listen, before we get started, for those who haven't had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting you or hearing you speak yet,
sure.
Take a second. Share your story with our listeners. What are you passionate about? What makes you tick? Who is Morgan Sutton?
I am passionate about helping small business owners get through the technical setup that can make their day so much easier. And it all started when I started working with Sue B. Zimmerman, which I know that your listeners will meet as well. We teach Instagram marketing to small business owners, but where we started was trying to decide how to get Sue into the space of online education. And she was passionate about sharing small social media with small business owners. And so she said, Morgan, I want to reach as many people as possible. Can you make it happen? And what I did is I dove into the online systems and processes that were necessary to make sure that our business was able to help as many people as possible. So for the last almost 5 years, we've been putting out education programs that can help small business owners do just that, and I'm the back end of all that. So I love being able to present what we're able to present to the world, as well as work with clients one-on-one and really make things that seem super overwhelming, seem super confusing, work for them, because I know it can give you so much time back.
I love that. Wow. Okay, let's dig in, because I got a ton of questions, and I want to get to the meat of it. So,
cool.
Morgan, tell me this. What are the differences between Instagram ads and Facebook ads?
So the difference, I believe that you should be testing both Instagram ads and Facebook ads. And we're going to focus mainly about Instagram today, but they are connected on the same platform. So you kind of have an awesome advantage where if you're going to dive into Instagram ads, you also can get the taste of what it would look like to give out Facebook ads. The major differences are really visual. So when you're on Facebook, you know that an ad can show up in your newsfeed, on your sidebar, whatever, has a photo or a video with it, has a description, a link, a headline, a lot more copy. On Instagram, the ads feel a lot more native to the platform. So it's really just a photo like you would connect, or like you would post on Instagram regularly, and a description. The difference is that post is now hyperlinked. So you can bring someone somewhere else, which is what we want to be doing. We want to be paying for exposure on those platforms. So the main difference is the visual look, but the return is very similar.
Tell me this. Is it more, and this is going to be, I'm going to geek out here for a second. Mm-hmm. From normally with a Facebook ad, we'll do something mm-hmm. like we'll drive a Facebook ad to a lander. Mm-hmm. And from the lander, they'll be able to click through, and obviously that's how we build a custom audience.
Exactly.
Is this a similar thing, or are you driving somebody to an order page? Or is there any difference in the mentality there?
I don't believe there should be, but it depends on what your goal is for your business. So in my business and in your business, like you said, I direct people to landing pages where normally they can get a taste of who we are and what we do. So like you're saying, you drive them to a landing page and collect them on a custom audience, or you drive them to a landing page and ask them to opt in and collect their email, normally by giving them something for free, right? On Instagram, you also are able to drive people directly to a website with a product a little more naturally than I think that you can do on Facebook. That's my personal feeling. I feel like it's because people shop on Instagram. People are a little more aware of the mobile discovery that they have on Instagram, and they're a little more comfortable clicking over and coming right to a website or right to a product. Especially with Instagram shopping starting to be tested, which is really, really exciting and was announced recently. Soon, businesses will be able to put product information and price, having people be able to shop directly on Instagram as well. So as that becomes more of a normalcy on the platform, I think it will be more and more native and more comfortable for consumers to click on that and be able to go directly to a product. Does that make sense?
It really does. It really, really does. And I thank you for taking me down that
Sure.
rabbit hole, because I feel like if we don't address that from the start, mm-hmm. I think you get folks who are just trying to cram product down people's faces. So,
true.
All right. So tell me this: as far as the reasons why would I want to advertise on Instagram? Obviously, most of my folks are very comfortable. I mean, in fact, I even have a product called Cheer Gym Marketing Vault that actually mm-hmm. teaches folks and gives them ads on how to really all the done for you stuff to market on Facebook. Why should they now be doing this on Instagram?
Because you don't want to miss out on the opportunity while it's here. So Instagram has an audience that is larger than Snapchat, Twitter, and Pinterest combined right now. We're at 500 million active users. And over the last 5 years that we kind of isolated it as the platform that we wanted to educate people on, it has just exploded more and more. So I think it's important for small business owners to be cutting edge and to try things out earlier rather than being late to the game. And Facebook's been around for a long time, and though it's so lucrative, there's a majorly global audience on Facebook, I believe the same opportunity is there on Instagram. And so you kind of want to get started before everyone else, every advertiser is there. I also think it's important to acknowledge that the team at Instagram has decided to focus on improving the platform over and over again for the user. So, I mean, Facebook is very similar, obviously, because they're owned, and we've seen facelifts of Facebook many times over the last decade. But Instagram has made sure that it's important for the platform to be comfortable for the user, and therefore I think that consumers are happier there and spending more time there. So a small business owner can benefit from Instagram's priority for its user because users are happier to be there. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Cool.
It definitely does make sense. All right. So from a structural perspective, where can we start? If I am brand new, I'm almost embarrassed, but I do pretty darn well on Facebook. I am a neophyte beyond with Instagram. So where should I get going so that I can do this and start the right way? Because I've always found that most people screw up on the getting started portion, and then they're just kind of tilted for the rest of their time.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're asking that, because when I got started on Facebook, because I run both on both platforms, when I got started on Facebook, I wasted a lot of time and we wasted a lot of the business's money on outsourcing ads to people that really didn't know what they were doing, and I didn't know what the right questions to ask. So I probably went through like 2 or 3 consultants and, hundreds and thousands of dollars, believing that those random people knew what they were doing, and they really weren't once I was able to dive in. So the first thing that I would say is start by bringing your own consciousness to the platform as a business owner. Start paying attention to when you see an ad on your feed and how that ad makes you feel and how you can get ideas from that for your own business. So the awesome thing about Instagram ads is that they're attractive. I mean, when they first started being released, it was funny because we would get on team calls and we would be chatting about it, obviously, as people who educate on Instagram. And Sue was like, darn it, I haven't been seeing that many ads. And we're like, you know what? It's because people are so good at making sure that it's native and comfortable for the user that you're not even noticing that sponsored post and you're just enjoying the ad. And so a lot of Instagram ads can help with brand awareness and just, you getting your posts on more and more, in front of more and more people. So I know that's a long narrative there, but I would say start bringing consciousness to the platform and understanding what that structure is.
Okay.
After that, I'd say you want to have an Instagram account. So as someone who's active on Facebook and active on Facebook ads, I don't know if you know this, but you already can share ads on Instagram with a Facebook page. You don't have to have an Instagram account to post an Instagram ad.
Okay.
But I believe that you're not getting the most bang for your buck if you're not having an account hyperlinked there, because you can also get, similarly to when you share an ad on Facebook and people might just click over to your profile and like you instead of heading over to your ad. That real estate on Instagram, if you don't have an Instagram account and you are running Instagram ads, the account name is not hyperlinked. So you're missing out on the chance that, maybe someone doesn't click their ad, but they do want to know a little bit more about you. Maybe they just want to follow you on Instagram and, they can't because it's not hyperlinked. So I'd say after deciding that you want to be doing it, you want to start your Instagram account, and getting comfortable on there and what an audience that would be interested in what you do wants to see.
Okay. That's fair. It's definitely fair. Now, as far as, let's talk budgeting for a second, because I know what my ad spend is on Facebook. Is it similar? What should I be spending?
So it really depends on your industry and what you're selling, of course. For me, I'm comfortable with a couple dollars a lead. So normally if anything starts creeping towards $3, I'm not really happy with that. So it really just depends on what you believe, what your conversion will be down the road, right? So if you have a cake business and your lead brings in a $700 cake and you know that once you get on the phone with someone, you're going to close them, then maybe spending $10 makes sense. Similarly with your community, if you're selling, a membership to your after school program or your cheer academy or whatever it is, and you know that the lifetime of that that user could be hundreds of dollars if you're serving your ads to the right person. Maybe you're more comfortable spending a little more. I am such a proponent of testing. That is just so important. So you have to decide how much your business is comfortable investing in paid ads, and then you have to test the heck out of it with the right way, with the right targeting, which we'll chat about a little bit later. But so I think it depends on your industry. In my experience with Instagram, I went through my last campaign just to pull some numbers for you. So I just got done spending about $1,000 to bring in 500 leads. And I tested 17 audiences that I've never served ads to before, just to see where we're at for an upcoming campaign and see who I could serve them to. I decided to send them across the board, so you can send them to Instagram, Facebook, all of the different targeting places. And Instagram beat Facebook 14 out of 17 times.
Wow.
So
how long was the test run for?
It was, I want to say 14 days. I think I started the first. Yeah. So I believe it was 14 days. And out of that, 8 of the audiences beat it by, like, the Instagram cost was half of what the Facebook cost was. Now, so that meant to me that what was helping that average of about $2 a lead was Instagram. Because once I broke it down by platform, those audiences weren't doing as great on Facebook. You know, if I had seen it just on Facebook, I probably would have turned it off because I'm a stickler about my cost per average. And I'm like, I don't want to pay $350. I want to pay $214. Now, this is me and this is my industry. But to go through that test and see that Instagram beat the cost per lead 14 out of 17 times, I was like, we're trying something right. Now, that can be, it can be because of so many different things, right? It can be because of the image, because of the description. It can be because of the audiences and their presence on Facebook versus Instagram, what have you. But it was exciting to see. So it's worth trying.
Totally makes sense. Okay. How do I know if it's working?
Well, I think you need to pay attention to the analytics, which I know sounds very silly, but when I first started and didn't know what I was looking for, which it seems like you support your community in, knowing how to do it technically and knowing to pay attention to those things. But a lot of people don't stay on the ball once they've turned on ads. So I suggest making sure that I'm not sure what you suggest, but where I always point clients is, 1 to 2 times a day. If you have money spending, $100 a day to me is a lot. It's a lot to any small business owner. And so I suggest staying on top of it at least once a day, if not twice a day. And I give ads about 48 to 72 hours before I make the call about that audience or that ad.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. This is actually, it's interesting you're saying that because it's as if you were listening on one of my webinars from last week. So yeah.
So we're on the same page there. I'm like, I want to make sure we're on the same page, Jason.
We're all on the same page. I mean, the 48 to 72 hour thing is spot on. It just is. It really just is. All right. I always find this to be the most telling. So what major mistakes do you see people making with this type of advertising? So
the largest mistake that I see with my clients is them not fully understanding how to target properly and how to test based on targeting. So for those that haven't explored paid ads before, you can decide to target people based on demographics that Facebook has been collecting for you. And Facebook knows a whole ton about us. So it is an amazing tool. What is important is to understand how to isolate the different focuses that you're targeting so you can know what's working and what's not working. So, there's a section for, and there's a section for specific demographics like gender, age, location, and then there's a section for what someone would be interested in. And so a lot of my clients will say, I started Facebook ads, before you've given me the session, I wanted to see how it went. And, I'm targeting 10 million people and I didn't get any conversions, or I only got a few conversions, whatever. And I'm like, okay, let's dive into the targeting. And they have put like 7, 10 interests, all of these interests, and they don't know which one is hurting them or helping them. So I'm a big proponent of using the same creative, the same image and description, and having that be tested across audience groups to understand what interest can really help you. In this recent campaign that I was talking to you about, I hadn't explored many publications before, and I shared it with Huffington Post and BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed was shut off within a couple of days. It just wasn't interested in my strategy guide, I guess. But Huffington Post stayed on for the whole 14 days. It did amazing. It was around $1.50 a lead or something like that, and it stuck around for the whole campaign. But you're not going to know that until you test. If I had put them both together, the cost per conversion would have been higher, and I wouldn't have known whose fault it was. Does that make sense?
It really does make sense.
So that's my main focus with clients. So, and also, with your community, local marketing can be important, and it's so powerful to be able to just target your city or just target your state. It's also a very cool part of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's for my particular clientele. It really is that the radius aspect is super important.
Exactly.
Because no parent wants to drive more than 20 minutes for just an after school activity. So.
And making that call means you understand your client, understands what they need. So don't waste your money talking to people outside of the specific distance that makes sense, because your ad may be clicked on by consumers that can't actually come and use your service. So understanding how your customer actually feels about certain things is just so powerful for every business decision, right? But for paid ads as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, nothing drives me more crazy than actually getting some of my clients' ads, from Reno, Nevada or something like, why are you showing that? I'm in New Jersey.
Right.
I shouldn't see this. I shouldn't be on that list. You got to target better. All right. That makes a lot of sense. All right. It is time for a resource of the week. So, Morgan, tell me this. How can our listeners find out more about you and how you're helping entrepreneurs to succeed?
Yeah, so right now you can find my company's resource, this Instagram strategy guide, at subiezimmerman.com/guide. And that's our starter place about when people are interested in starting an Instagram strategy. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me at morgan@subiezimmerman.com. But definitely, if you're just a beginner, get that strategy guide and start creating your presence on Instagram, and who knows where you're going to go with these paid ads. It's awesome, the change that you can make.
Well, I can't wait. I will be implementing like crazy on this. So it's www.subiezimmerman.com/guide. Correct?
Exactly.
Fabulous. Folks, if you've not grabbed this yet, what are you waiting for? www.subiezimmerman.com/guide. Go grab that, go implement, and then, let's see what the next step is. All right, Morgan, I always like to end my podcast with this question. So if you could give business owners just one solid piece of advice to either help their business or, more importantly, to help them to live a better, more balanced life, what would that piece of advice be?
I'm going to go a little upper level on this and say, I want to champion small business owners to do what they are most comfortable in and shine there. I think that it's really easy for marketers to tell small business owners to explore 17 different things, and that's what's going to make your business pick up. But if you're not comfortable on video, then you shouldn't be on YouTube. If you're not comfortable with funny, quick quips on written, then you shouldn't be on Twitter. You know, we are in a space where there are so many different options for you to be able to market yourself and be able to get exposure for your business. But if it's going to be really, really hard, then you're going to lose sleep over how you're marketing. So I always suggest my clients to really process what it is, what medium that they'll be most comfortable on, and then commit to that first. And so far that's helped a lot of people give themselves a little forgiveness and have a lot of success on something that they're excited to be working on. So that's my kind of upper level plea to small business owners. Do what you're good at, so you're excited to be marketing what you love doing.
I love that. That makes so much sense. All right. Fabulous. Morgan, thank you so much for joining me today. I know how busy your schedule is, and it means the world to me that you share some time and some of this awesome intel with us. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure has been mine. Alrighty, folks, that's all the time we've got today. Thanks so much for tuning into The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. For more information about private coaching or to see if you'd benefit from one of my mastermind groups, visit me over at www.jasonmsilverman.com. I look forward to helping you achieve the success that you truly deserve. Until next time, let me leave you with this. Get out there and be the real deal. Set a goal, make a plan, work like hell towards it, and achieve the success that you truly deserve. Now's the time. Get out there and make it happen. Go get it, people. This has been Jason Silverman, and I hope you have a spectacular week.
You've been listening to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. To access the great resources mentioned in the show and for information on coaching and mastermind group opportunities with Jason, please visit jasonmsilverman.com.